There are two Minnesota legislative races that will be recounting ballots this week, one for a state house seat in the Alexandria area and the other a state senate seat in the Northfield area. Surprised and shocked by the announcement, I traveled to one local church to see what they would remember most about His Holiness. Unanimously rejected the latest contract offer. After a secret ballot vote on Wednesday, the musicians said that the proposal would greatly reduce their salary and benefits. The proposal would cut wages by 14%. Chuck says that it's not just the management's responsibility. He says that a helping hand goes a long way. Here at the St. Cloud Amtrak station, you might be surprised to hear that you have to keep track of your own luggage. Students are also able to find out about emergencies via text message with the Star Alert system. To learn about fire and tornado safety at school, but students attending SCSU are now learning about something new: violent and hostile confrontation.
It's encouraged for the professors to have an open conversation with their classes, with their students about their concerns and about their fears and what their plan of action is. We always want people to have a plan of action.
And professors are giving their students a plan of action by going over the Emergency Procedure Handbook.
Prepared and have a plan for how they're going to respond, the more organized and systematic that response can be in an emergency.
Some students, like Mike Fabre, say it should be mandatory.
I think it should be. You know, after everything we've been through this year, with all these different accidents going on and everything, I think it's important to have some, you know what I mean, some protocol to go over it, just so students know that those are, you know, the school cares about that.
Students are also able to find out about emergencies via text message with the Star Alert system. Student David Ratch also says there can be more room for improvement.
Have public safety come into a few of the classes and talk about it. That would make people, well, I feel safe, but some people may not, and that would probably make people lean towards feeling more safe, I guess.
Students are reminded to always call 911 first in an emergency. For UTVS News, I'm Krystal Frasier. And you're absolutely right about safety in travel. After two individuals were arrested with terrorism-related charges in Canada yesterday, the world realized that not only planes were targets of destruction. I traveled to the local Amtrak station to see how strict their security is. Every day they crisscross the country. Small towns and big cities, they carry passengers to visit family and friends. However, something seems to be missing from this traveling experience: security checks. At the St. Cloud Amtrak station, passenger Linda Mortensen says that on a trip a few years ago, she and a friend noticed the lack of security.
That with all the security at airports, there really is none that we have ever known about at train depots, which we thought was a little bit unusual because a lot of people do travel by train. And there's a lot of traffic, I think, in the city, big city areas where you think of terrorism more.
The lack of security could cause worry. Yesterday, two individuals were arrested for terrorism-related charges in Canada.
I'm concerned because there is, you know, there are acts of terrorism often, and yet it's not something that I just worry about.
Here at the St. Cloud Amtrak station, you might be surprised to hear that you have to keep track of your own luggage. Not only are passengers on their own for their personal bags, but also looking out for bags of fellow passengers. According to a pamphlet at the station, out of 47 stops, only 20 are labeled as checked bags. St. Cloud is not on that list. With no metal detectors or scanners so commonly seen in airports, Amtrak travelers must carry bags along with trust throughout their trip. For UTVS News, Krystal Frasier. I did reach out to Amtrak to ask about their security and safety rules, but a spokesperson from Amtrak said that no interviews were being given on the subject.
And Krystal, was Amtrak directly involved with the Canadian incident yesterday?
No, the company wasn't, but the CEO and president of Amtrak, Joe Boardman, did issue a statement saying that Amtrak appreciates the continuing investigation by the Royal Canadian Police that involves their colleagues.
Krystal, are there any kind of security at Amtrak stations?
In that same statement, Boardman says Amtrak has explosion detection and canine teams, but again, neither of those were seen at the St. Cloud station. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Krystal.
As of right now, I am able to tell you that nothing is certain as to why the bombings took place or who is responsible for it. No unexploded bombs have been found in Boston, according to the governor of Massachusetts. Now, this does go against reports given yesterday. The only explosives found were the ones at the finish line of the marathon. According to the Associated Press, also, 17 victims are still in critical condition at hospitals in the Boston area.
Krystal, what do we know now about those explosive devices?
Right now, the AP is reporting that an anonymous source was briefed about the investigation. The source says that the explosives were 6-liter pressure cookers and then put in black duffel bags. The bags contain metal, nails, and ball bearings. Right now, it is still unknown what was used to set off the bombs, but they are known to be detonated by cell phones, pagers, garage door openers, or digital watches. Pressure cookers have been used in the past in plots against the United States and France. Looking out over the river, spring is starting to show. But take a closer look, and garbage has also sprung.
Once the snow's gone out of the parking lots and stuff, they got sweepers that they'll go out.
Due to the long winter, it's taken longer for the cleanup to begin. However, the cleanup crew has already started the job. Chuck Kalshire says that it's an easier job than you think.
I'm gonna use poker sticks to pick it up, and so I'm just picking it up by hand.
But for him, it's a little different.
No, I tell somebody else to do it.
Students have noticed the increase of garbage despite the cleanup efforts.
I was just thinking about it like 2 days ago, like all the trash I've been seeing.
Garbage isn't in just one spot, it's being seen all around campus.
When the snow's gone, like people threw it and like it snowed, and when it hit, but now that it's melting, you definitely see it more.
Chuck says that it's not just the management's responsibility. He says that a helping hand goes a long way. Who is hoping to see their green grass soon.
Getting everything ready and digging up flower beds and the old stuff, and it's a lot of work.
What about green